exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Podcasserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Welcome to what can only be described as the Fyre Festival of podcasting. Podcast.
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
Have you enjoyed the Fyre Festival documentaries?
Yeah.
I meant to ask you this last time.
Yeah, they're good.
Have you watched both of them?
Yes.
Hulu and Netflix?
Yeah.
Which one do you like better?
Netflix for sure. I think we did talk about this, did we not?
I don't think so.
You sure?
We talked off the air.
Netflix for sure. It's a better perspective. I think it was fun to see the behind the scenes of the event planning. You know, we may have had some close friends that try to put on events. Nothing to that level. But they understand the time, the money, and the stress that goes into it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to see that process.
I told my wife
And
that if we had that kind of money,
Yeah.
I think you and I could do something far worse than the Fyre Festival.
far worse. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
If we had that kind of time
Yeah.
and financing,
Yeah.
or lack of financing, I still don't know how this guy was just able to turn up money hand over fist to get this stuff done.
And even after it was all said and done, he was still finding ways. I guess I don't understand that part of it. Once the people's information was being sold off, and he would get money from that. Is that what happened?
Oh,
Because the ticket holders months afterwards would start getting calls many times a day from people of certain. You know what I mean?
the scams he was running once he got
Even after the Fyre Festival happened.
Yeah, and he was out on bail.
Yeah.
yeah. What Billy? What's his last name? I can't think of his name.
Billy, what's his face?
Billy, what's his face?
That's good. It's good. That's funny.
I cannot recall his last name.
I'm saying here, I don't know.
Billy, what's his face? Is that? There's a famous video.
Yeah, Lex Luger.
With Lex Luger
Yeah.
talking about a promotion ran by a man named Billy.
Yeah.
Could it be this guy?
I think it is. Yeah.
Billy, what's his face?
I think it's Billy. What's his face? Yeah, I think it is.
Mr. Luger. Mr. Luger. Do you think this guy was a con man?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you think he went into it meaning to con people?
I don't think so, because he's smart enough to know there's no way he can do that and get away with it. Know what I mean? But my question is, where did that go wrong? If you did go in with these proper intentions, at what point are you too deep in? Like, oh, this is not going to happen.
Was it the influence of Ja Rule? Because let me tell you who seems like they got away with something.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Ja Rule seems like he got
Right?
away with a lot.
Yeah.
Because even in the Netflix documentary,
Mm-hmm.
Fyre Festival happens, everybody's got the sad faces in the business meeting the following week.
Yeah.
And Ja Rule is the one saying, "Oh, we could do better. We can get past this."
Yeah.
And somebody finally points out what we did was fraud. No. That's not the word you want to use, sport. You want to use like we misspoke,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were gonna, due to circumstances beyond our control.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
yeah, it seems like Ja Rule got away with something.
let's do this.
Nothing for nothing.
I know you want to talk about Fyre Festival, and that's good. But it's been almost 7 years. Let's talk a little bit about our experiences, what we've had.
Our personal Fyre Festival?
Yeah. It's been almost 7 years. Can we do it?
Oh, I gotta be honest,
Man,
Adam.
it's been almost 7 years.
When I was watching that documentary,
I know, same here. I know. That's why I brought this up.
it's like,
I know.
sure, I'll. How about this?
Let's do it. We've always tiptoed around. We've always given curveballs. Let's just give it out.
Well,
Let's
I
put it
don't
out.
know what the statute of limitations
It's
are.
7 years. We're safe.
How about this?
Uh-huh.
I will respond and answer to anything you want to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give the story.
Okay, go ahead.
And most people, I would think, some know this.
I don't know.
So we started podcasting in the summer of 2011. Shortly after that, we started trying to frequent local comic conventions, and not so local. We went to different states and things like that. After a while, A, we had a lot of fun at these things. B, it was a good way to promote our show and our things and our goods. And C, after a while, a.k.a. about 6 months, we think we could do this.
I don't think I want to talk about this anymore.
Come on, just a little bit. I think it's good therapy.
What is with these episodes where you're trying to get me to like pull information out of me lately?
First, it was a first kiss. I got nothing. If you told me your first kiss, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh, okay. Well, can I answer that now?
No, it's too late. That was last week. But it's fun to think about and just talk about
The
it.
year was 1994. The place was the parking lot of Toys R Us in Bellevue.
Are you serious? I want to hear these. These are great stories.
Oh, now we're talking about the Fyre Festival.
Oh man! But so, you want to talk about it for real? I think it's fun. I think
Our person. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is
again. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So the end of 2011, actually the very, very beginning, January of 2012, we're at a certain convention. We see what's happening, the celebrity status, the people coming in, and honestly, there's no intention to do this and make millions or even thousands. It was really to have some fun and get that, just have a fun time. In the future, there was an idea of some money. But
Here's the thing too. I think it goes to a lot to where we are in our lives at this point.
Yeah.
To where we are searching for something that we feel like we could make a living doing.
That's true.
And enjoy at the same time.
That's
because
true.
I certainly was not enjoying my job at that time.
Yeah.
I know you weren't.
Right.
And I know our nameless partners weren't either.
Right. Yeah. And so at the time, that was, as it is still, the geek and pop culture thing was booming, even more so then. It was in the infant stages, but it would get bigger and bigger, higher and higher. So we gave ourselves, in January, we had the idea, and we decided May of that year, that is correct, 4 months later, 4 months to plan from the idea of let's do this to we're going to open the doors for this event, we decided to run our own multi-fandom convention. We did. And I
even to just muster up the words that yes, that happened is very difficult for me.
I'm curious if people want to hear this story.
All kidding aside.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just like my wife knows. Just like anyone close to me knows.
Yeah.
I do not talk about this.
I know. Should we stop? We can totally stop.
I do not talk about this.
I know you're serious. I know. Yeah.
I moved past it.
But I think
I don't like to think about it.
Right.
I don't like to acknowledge I was involved on any level.
But I want to make a positive out of this.
I would like to hear how you make a positive out of this.
We did something.
Because in a list of regrets in one's life, this is in the top 3.
Now, it wasn't
of my life, Adam.
Can we explain which? I'm trying to not dig too deep here, but I want to scratch the surface. What are the 3 main mistakes that were made for planning? Well, this is all coming back from the Fyre Festival happenings, where he himself. Now, of course, there was no fraud or scam on our end because there was definitely not a lot of money made, so that wasn't even a thing. But at what point in time in that planning do you think went wrong?
The Fyre Festival or ours?
Ours, because we're trying to figure out where the Fyre Festival, what happened to him. Yeah,
we did not give ourselves enough time.
Agreed. Yeah.
Do
you think the Fyre Festival had the same issue? I'm trying to mirror this, so it's not so rough on us.
Yeah,
I'm trying to mirror with that relationship.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was, hey, we could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, and they tried to do it in 7 months?
Yes.
And we tried to do it in 3.
Yeah.
Not knowing that to do something what we wanted to do, you have to take a year to plan. And we didn't allow that because we didn't know, because we were dumb. And we also booked too big of a venue.
Right.
If we wanted to do that, because I have given thought to this.
I know, yeah.
If we, and occasionally, when Adam and I are speaking in real life and not with microphones in front of us, the question comes out, not my mouth usually, do you ever want to try something like that again?
Yeah.
And it's no, followed by, if we ever were to do that again, it would be one day, one hotel, like ballroom somewhere, very small, very low key. But you really haven't even scratched the surface of what we did.
I mean, kind of.
Talk about the building that we ended up booking.
If I remember correctly, was it 120,000 square feet?
Yes.
It was
yes. Yes, Senator. It was.
When I say that number, I don't mean broken up into multiple rooms and hallways and floors and stories. It was one room, so 4 walls of 120,000 square feet.
4 asbestos-tainted walls.
I mean,
in a warehouse in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah, I could go on for days and weeks and months
because
of what
it was
wrong,
the only thing that would fit in our budget.
Right, yeah. And there's a reason for that. We had vendors, the fantastic vendors. I can say that one of the best things we had going there was
It will never work with us again.
we had 30 plus vendors of great stuff, from T-shirts to collectible arcade games to very expensive comics to figures, statues, busts. Porno DVDs were there. It was the whole thing was there.
Was it one of the most expensive video games in the world at our convention?
Yeah, one of the Nintendo World Championships was there for $15,000 right below a roof leak when it started pouring down rain and the roof was actually leaking.
So just like the storm comes in the night before of Fyre Festival.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Day one of our show.
Yeah.
A typhoon, a monsoon, a gorilla monsoon.
Yeah.
Comes through Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
And that's when we discover that the entire roof of this cheap building rented to us by Wendell.
I like the name change for
Was it not Wendell?
No, it wasn't. But we'll call him Wendell.
What was his name?
We'll call him Wendell.
Well, what was his name?
Mandel.
Wendell's
closer. Wendell's safer. I'm going to give the story and change, and not give full details because things are out there.
Well, we had a roof leak.
Yeah.
And it was terrible.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just go home.
It was it was a fun time. Looking back.
It was not fun.
So,
plus, you and I stayed up all night Friday night to watch over everybody's stuff.
Because we had a security guard only hired for one night.
Because that's all we could afford.
Yeah.
So me, you, and a friend of ours, is he going to remain nameless?
Yeah, he won't listen, but sure, yeah.
So me, you, and him stay up all night.
Actually, it was the two of us. The other one slept.
Oh,
they
true.
Came in later. It was supposed to be in shifts, but we only had about an hour and a half of sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So that happened. The numbers of the attendance weren't what we'd like them to be.
For our first year, now, here's the thing. To do something in 3 months for a first year, we actually had pretty good attendance.
That's true, yeah.
You just wouldn't know that in a 120,000 square foot warehouse.
That's a good point.
Where the roof leaks.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh my God. So the roof leak happens. We had I was in charge. We had titles and things that were happening, but we all did everything, to be honest. I was in charge of the celebrity guests, if you want to call them that. And I think for a first show, some weren't terrible for a first show. We had the current inker at the time of the Batman comics was there. We had at the time the current artist for Archie comics, like the actual Archie illustrator was there. We had a major actor from a pretty famous 1980s TV show.
He had 2 big TV shows.
Did he? Oh, he did too. Yeah, you're right. We had one of the very first horror icons. The first installment was there. One of your first big slashers. The first time you ever see him on screen, this guy was there. And that person had a personal band.
I don't know if you've ever heard a band play in an airplane hangar. Hooked up through home studio speakers.
I tried to warn him.
It's not great.
I tried.
It's not great. That was the lowest point.
Yeah, so this was a Saturday and Sunday show. Am I right? 2 days on that?
Oh, yeah.
And so Sunday, this
we made no good decision through this whole thing.
No, Sunday the horror icon comes in, and I try to warn him not to play, but he wants his main thing now is his band. Mm-hmm. Like he pushes his past acting efforts only to advance his band.
Yes,
the band is even named after what he used to do. So he's playing Sunday at 4 p.m., which even at Dragon Con, the last day's a Monday. Monday at 4 p.m., we're looking at about...
I've never been there at Monday at 4 p.m.
Looking at about 20% of the usual crowd.
Yeah.
So 20% of a few hundred is not very good. And so when you have that, vendors are packing up, the roof is still leaking, you have this terrible band playing terrible quality in a terrible venue for a terrible convention. It was a rough end.
Yeah.
It was rough. And the main star we had was not a pleasant person. That was one of your heroes and people you loved before. They always say don't meet your heroes, and that didn't work out so well.
Yep.
That was
our own personal Fyre Festival.
I didn't give crazy details to it.
It's so funny when I was watching that documentary, I could relate to it.
Same here. That's why I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah. And it was a lot of the same thing. People putting on something that had never done it before and had no business trying to do something on that scale.
The whole time. Like I think most people watch the Fyre Festival stuff and are mad at those people for thinking they're idiots. They shouldn't be doing it. They have bad intentions. But some could say the same about us. but we went in with totally good intentions. Correct? I mean, wouldn't you say so?
And we never conned anyone.
Right, exactly. There's no fraud there. We
never-
walked away losing money.
We never sold anything that
Yeah.
wasn't. We never promised anything that we didn't deliver.
That's true. We had some cancellations that was not our fault.
Yeah. But even that, like, it's not like we sold a vendor space.
Right.
And then when the vendor showed up, the space was in a totally different location.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we didn't steal anyone's identity.
We just
and
said-
we didn't violate any SEC rules
Yeah.
in dealing with the money involved in
Yeah.
this.
We just had VIP packages with, sandwich trays.
Yeah, but we just said there would be food.
That's true.
We never said it would be fancy food.
Yeah, eventually. And in my head, I know it's going to happen, and I'm almost positive it's going to happen on the 10-year anniversary. But it's going to happen. It will be rectified, and we'll be done again, and we'll be done properly.
By us?
Yeah, it's going to happen. Just a heads up.
I don't know.
Yeah, think about it.
I don't
That's
know.
3 years. It's going to happen. It's going to
In 3 years.
To right the wrong. I think you'll sleep better at night. You'll die a happier man if you have another blank 2 that's better.
We're 3 years away from the decade mark.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you said we're 7.
Remember 2016? That distance to now was the decade since our show. Does that hurt you a little bit?
Yeah, it does. Slightly.
Yeah. Anything you want to say about that event? I mean,
No.
Yeah.
No. I hated it.
Why does it bother you so? I'm not. It was.
Why does it bother me so? Because I think I'm smarter than that. I think we're smarter than that.
Well, it's doing stuff you don't know. It's like getting mad at yourself for not being a good baseball pitcher. You don't know how to do it. You can't. You're not properly trained to do it.
But then I'm not driving down to Florida trying to get on any teams this spring.
But I mean, if a team legitimately said, come play with, if the Braves, for some ungodly reasons, like, you know what, JP, you've been a big fan, come pitch a game for us, and you did that, and you'd be terrible. You wouldn't hate yourself. Hopefully, you just weren't properly meant to do it or trained
I was
for
terrible when I threw out the first pitch at a Sounds game. It went over the mascot's head.
At least you had the arm for it.
Yeah, that's true. I went the distance.
Nice, yeah.
Um,
why is it so painful?
I think I do think we're smarter than that.
Uh-huh.
And I think our motivation was wrong.
You think so?
I think we were motivated by the wrong things. And I think if we had scaled back our motivation, then we would have done something more on the level that we were capable to do. But we thought we could make a splash. And then people that we encountered along the way only fired up our wrong motivations. Like when we tried to when there's like apparently, and if you don't care about this, I'm sorry, but apparently there's convention booker bullies out there who will corner you at other shows.
Yeah, true story.
And threaten you to stay out of their territory, which personally for me only motivated me more to go bigger.
Yeah.
And that was wrong. However, there were a couple of things I thought were really cool. That supernatural car that we had was awesome.
See, we had good stuff.
Yeah. We did have good stuff.
There was good stuff.
That's what bothers me too, is that we were actually able to pull off a lot of vendors and have good stuff. But failed in what we should probably have excelled at, and that is the marketing of that event. Had we had marketed, even in that really shitty location, even if we had marketed that event like we should have, more people would have come out.
You think so?
Everything was there except the crowd. And if we had the crowd, even though it would have been terrible to have a lot of people there when the roof started leaking.
Yeah.
But I do take some positives away from it, and I do take some lessons away from it. And the lesson is, don't do it again.
I see it as a time to right the wrong.
Yeah.
It was I'll never forget. It was one of the worst days of my life. I'll never forget that. But I'm glad it happened because I think we have a better understanding of what could happen next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised that we all stayed friends afterwards.
Well, there was never once a really bicker between us, I don't think.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't. But usually those type of things tend to sour relationships, and it didn't.
Yeah.
I am glad that it didn't have that effect.
Yeah.
That it didn't, like, no relationships were soured after that.
Yeah.
And in the bottom of my garage, in a deep, dark corner,
Yeah.
I still have a crate
It's great.
full of stuff from that show.
It's great. Mm-hmm. It's good stuff.
One day I'll bust out that crate and look through it.
Some Patreon exclusives there.
There's a lot of misspelled posters.
Yeah. In an effort to have easier and cheaper marketing, we got some actually like College of Art students to make flyers. Yeah, a lot of misspelled names and wrong times and just bad stuff all around.
A lot of bad posters.
Yeah.
I've still got all the stuff that hung in the VIP room.
Really? So it's all down there?
It's all down there.
I'd like to see that sometime.
Yeah.
Really?
Basically, it's that terrible weekend in a box.
I'd like to see that box.
Maybe I should burn that box.
I'd like to see the. No, let me see the box.
Maybe
What's
I
in the
should
box?
burn the box and bury it in my backyard. Yeah, there's a crate full of all that stuff. It's all in one crate.
Just a lot of we didn't properly use social media. We didn't have one logo. We had multiple. The website had a logo.
Mm-hmm.
The Facebook did it. The Twitter. They all had different logo, like different fonts, text, sizes. There's no uniformity to that.
Didn't you design the logo?
Yeah, it was terrible. not a logo designer. And
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is the level we were at.
Yeah.
We were trying to attempt things that we had never done before.
I'm the furthest thing from a graphic design. I'm terrible at that. And I was using a free program and not having any clue what to do, but just because we had no other option.
Right.
That's what we did. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the thing about it was, and I'm honestly surprised, but we made it known that if anyone was disappointed, then, not now, that we would have reimbursed them.
Yeah, yeah.
We did that with every vendor, anyone who came through the door. If you're disappointed, we will give you your money back.
Yeah.
And no one took their money back.
Yeah.
Which I thought was...
A lot of the vendors were actually very happy. That was the one positive, correct? When you say so?
There were...
And the vendors packing up, a lot of them wanted to return the next year.
That's true. There were a lot of the vendors that were like, well, let us know where you do this again next year.
Yeah.
Because the people that did show up spent money with the vendors because the vendors were good.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff sold that weekend. Mm-hmm. That's not an exaggeration from the vendor standpoint.
Yeah.
I think we tried to do too many events.
Yeah. And pretty much none of them happened.
I mean, we tried.
We had, I think, a few costume contests, right?
We would start the panels and then no one would be there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we would start them and then we'd end them pretty quick.
But the sitting with our major star that weekend was some of the toughest times of my life. That was tough.
I couldn't do it.
An hour seemed like 10.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. You didn't, did you?
I didn't. I couldn't.
I had to drive him by the two of us in my car and my terrible
I took him back
Cherokee.
to the airport that morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my like trade.
Yeah.
I'll take him to the airport, but I can't see this guy over the weekend.
I mean, it's so bad.
I will punch him in the face.
He had no attendees or anybody at his table lined up, and he was just his forehead literally on the table in front of him, just hating life.
Yeah.
It's like, can I go back to my hotel room? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Do you remember last story? And we'll stop this charade here, but we pick him up from the airport. You and I do, and it's a weird, surreal moment. We're in the car driving back, a 30-ish minute ride in the Middle Tennessee area. We're going back to the hotel. He's in the front seat. You're driving. I'm in the back seat, telling these crazy stories. At the time, I don't think we knew yet how bad it was.
No. I don't know. I had a feeling.
Did you?
A week or two before
that
it was going to be bad. Yeah.
In the parking lot of the hotel he got dropped off, was there someone trying to find some drugs or a homeless person? Someone,
accosted him for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, man. This is not good. We thought it was a nicer hotel, but it wasn't.
But within 5 minutes, we knew he was a racist and a misogynist.
That's true, yeah. That's true, yeah.
Yeah. Or at least had those tendencies.
I won't go any deeper for
I don't want to label anyone.
Yeah.
But it certainly seemed by the subject of the conversations
that
he was a bit of a racist and definitely a misogynist.
Yeah.
Stephen King movies. Oh, no. Even see, now I'm just like thrown off.
Fuzzled.
Steven Spielberg movies.
Yeah.
We love them.
We do.
We'll talk about them. So, Steven Spielberg.
Right.
Do you have an all-time favorite Steven Spielberg movie?
Looking through the list, it's got to be Jurassic Park. Has to be Jurassic Park. What about you?
Ah, man.
That one to me was, I'm not sure if it was because of my age or what was going on, but that was magical. Magical time.
Number one on my list would probably be the original Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, this is going to be, I think, a segment full of hot takes from me.
Okay.
I don't want it to be, but honestly, A, I haven't seen a lot of these, and B, there are some that I don't like that the world loves.
Well, let's quickly go through his directorial, because here's the thing about Steven Spielberg. There's two parts, director Steven Spielberg and producer Steven Spielberg.
Right.
Now, the producer Steven Spielberg, Back to the Future would be my favorite on that list, because he was a producer. And it was really popular in the mid to late 80s, early 90s. Steven Spielberg Presents, because he was the producer. If Steven Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy, who is now the main producer for the Star Wars movies, that Kathleen Kennedy, produced a lot of stuff in the 80s and 90s. And actually, to this day, they continue to produce stuff. So let's start with the directorial side of Steven Spielberg. And I do want to ask you this. Have you ever seen... Now, he did a lot of TV directing. Up to 1971, he directed. And a lot of people kind of credit this with the birth of Steven Spielberg. Not Jaws. You got to go back a couple of earlier years. 1971's Duel. It was a TV movie.
Yeah, never saw it.
You've never seen this?
No, never have. Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's very Spielbergonian. If that's a word?
Yeah, let's make it one.
Dennis Weaver's in this, and basically, here's the plot. Dennis Weaver is just your typical 1970s businessman. He's on a business trip, and then this phantom truck just starts chasing him across the country.
Oh, nice.
And he can't get away from this truck. And then it comes down to basically a battle between him and the truck at the end of
That's pretty cool.
Duel, the TV movie, which is credited as kind of like the birth of Steven Spielberg, the first mainstream birth of him. So, but let's jump ahead a couple of more years and go to the one that lots of people credit as their favorite movie of all time, and that is Jaws.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
What's your take on Jaws?
Ready for the first hot take?
I'm ready.
I don't get the hype.
What?
I don't get it, man. I don't understand it. I don't know.
Do you not like it?
No.
Do you not like what it did for movies in general? Like, this was really the first blockbuster movie.
I know, and I don't understand why. Is the question? I don't get it. Is that bad? Is that a bad thing to say?
No, I mean, I think it's a classic.
Yeah.
I think it's a classic horror movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Use the H word?
Yeah.
Don't use the H word.
It's a classic horror movie. And you know what's great about it?
What's that?
Is that you rarely see the shark.
Yeah.
Because of all the technical problems they encountered with trying to create this. And that's another thing with Spielberg. Always pushing the boundaries of technology and special effects in films since the 1970s.
Yeah.
Up to last year with Ready Player One.
Yeah.
That is like the movie or not, and I have some problems with it. It's enjoyable, but I have some problems with it. It still is visually stunning to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
It's eye candy for sure.
I mean, I think the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park 25 plus years ago look better than Fallen Kingdom. I know it's animatronics and a combination of that and CGI, but I think it looks much better.
I agree with that.
I really do.
Because I was watching Jurassic Park just a couple of weeks ago, and the dinosaurs look great.
Yeah.
Even the CG dinosaurs, and it looked great.
Yeah.
But yes, the animatronic, especially with the T-Rex at the beginning and the Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
That's really good stuff.
But in Jaws, they tried to do the animatronic shark, would not work half the time.
Yeah.
And that's why they had to get creative, and you see a lot of like when the shark is pulling the buoys and things like that nature. Like the shark is attacking, but it's shot in such a way you don't really see the shark that much.
Yeah.
And I think had you seen the shark, it would not have been as good. But I'm surprised you don't like Jaws.
Yeah, I'm just not I just lump those in together. The shark movies, the big alligator movies, the Lake Placids, the Deep Blue Seas, the Sharknadoes, the Jaws. It's all just a big mud to me. Mud. Big mud.
I don't think that's accurate.
You don't think so? Why
I
not?
don't think Jaws is in the same category.
It's a shark
as
movie.
Sharknado.
It's a shark attack movie. Same as, can we say Deep Blue Sea?
No,
How about that?
I don't think Jaws.
Anaconda? Lake Placid?
Okay, how about this? Jaws 3D
Yeah.
in with those movies.
If you
but
showed
the
me-
original Jaws,
Yeah.
no.
If you showed me 45 seconds, I couldn't tell you if it was Jaws 1 or Jaws 3 or 4. Couldn't do it.
Maybe you should watch Jaws.
Yeah, I have seen it, but it's been a long time.
When was the last time you saw it?
At least 10 years ago.
I think you should watch it with aged eyes.
It's a shark movie. It's a movie about a shark.
Which, by the way,
Yeah.
was the name of my fourth album.
Aged Eyes.
Aged Eyes.
It's about a shot. It just needs more of a sale to me.
Let's quickly go through these.
Yeah.
1977's Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Never saw it.
What?
I'm sorry, you're going to be shocked at the amount of movies I have not seen on this list. I'm aware what it's about. I know the music, the sounds, the visuals. Never saw it.
Are you serious?
You're going to be shocked. You know my history with Indiana Jones, right? Like, I've still never really seen all of them, really. We're getting there.
Well, the next stop is 1979 and Spielberg's first bomb. And if you've never seen this one, that's fine, even though I do enjoy it. And it also has a direct tie to Back to the Future. It was written by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, who were writers on Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Zemeckis directed the film. 1941, starring John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd.
Never saw it.
This is it's so funny.
I get that
But
Animal
it
House mixed
bombed.
up, of course. Yeah,
But it bombed. It was a big bomb when it first debuted in theaters. But I think you might call it a cult classic.
yeah.
1941.
I know some people who like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one right here.
Oh wow.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, 1981.
Yeah.
The classic.
I think I was
The movie that birthed Indiana Jones.
I'm too late to this train. I didn't get my ticket stamped in time. I finally snuck on when it was too late mid-track. I just, I watched. Remember was it last year or 2 years ago? I watched the first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I tried the second one and I stopped. I couldn't. I just tapped out. I don't. What is it about those I don't like? I'm asking you to tell me.
I don't know. I mean, they're great. It's adventure.
I think it's my.
They're witty. They're paced well. They're fun.
I think it's my disdain for Harrison Ford. I think it's what it is.
That would be a problem.
I really think so.
In enjoying Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I really think so.
Because he's in almost every scene.
Right. I think it's that. I do.
Marion.
She's
What about
terrible too? Don't get me started.
What?
You know I don't like that character.
I'd love to hear your take on 1982's E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
You know where I stand on that.
No, I don't.
I don't like it at all. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I never did. And I've seen this one many, many, many times. As a kid, my parents forced it down my throat. It was the big hot thing, and here's your movie, your Reese's Pieces, your Elliott's. And I never felt. I don't know. It always to me had a somber, sad feel to it. Like even the very first time as a 5-year-old watching this, I knew it was going to end badly. I just felt it.
But it didn't end badly.
I think so.
No.
What?
E.T. got home.
Yeah, but he left
Spoiler
Elliot.
alert. He left who?
Elliot.
Yeah, well.
In my eyes, he should be with him forever.
Well, he couldn't. He
Why
couldn't
not?
survive on this planet any
No
longer.
one cares about his needs. It's about what makes Elliot happy.
There's a couple of scenes in E.T. that kind of creep me out to this day.
It's scary.
We've talked about one of them on here before, and that's when the government people start showing up, and they come over the hill.
Oh, yeah.
In the subdivision.
It's creepy.
I don't know why they're silhouettes marching, why they just wouldn't all be in cars.
Yeah.
But they're marching over the hill, and
Yeah.
you see the silhouettes marching towards Elliot's house. That one, and then the one when they go and find E.T. and he's just all white in the forest and he looks dead.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a creepy scene too.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I will tell you this. I enjoy watching E.T. more as an adult than I did as a kid.
I should try it again, I guess.
Because I think I can understand the themes in it and actually not be bored by some of it.
Yeah.
As I could see a kid. When E.T. was first released, I think when it was first released on home video, it wasn't until 1991 or 92 that it was released on home video for the first time. And I want to say they went in and digitally removed the guns that the FBI agents had.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And replaced them all with walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
So even back in the 90s, this whole gun thing was a
Yeah,
problem.
heard about that, yeah.
So Spielberg requested that they digitally remove the guns, and they're just all holding walkie-talkies.
Pull the old Lucas on it.
I think now the guns are back.
Really?
I think anything that you see now is the original version. Last year we did a whole episode about the Twilight Zone.
Uh-huh.
So I know you've seen Twilight Zone. No, or have you not seen?
I haven't seen. I've seen the clips on YouTube, but it's one of those. It's hard to find an actual copy, streaming or physical, of Twilight Zone the movie.
Wow.
Remember that? Yeah, but I've seen the clips on YouTube and
Yeah, Kick the Can.
Yeah,
he directed that segment. Now here's 1984's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
My least favorite Indiana Jones
That's why I
movie.
couldn't finish it. I stopped halfway.
My least favorite. I will give you that.
Well, that's your least favorite.
That's true. That's coming up later.
Yeah, yeah,
But of the three that I consider, there's only three.
yeah.
My least, and I think it's because it's so different than Raiders and Last Crusade. Because I guess there's no Nazis.
Is that why?
Indy's only really good when he's fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
Then there's a TV miniseries here. Then Amazing Stories. Have you seen any of Amazing Stories?
Never did, no.
The TV series that he actually directed 2 episodes of. 1985 is The Color Purple.
Never saw it.
This was like the first Oscar-worthy Steven Spielberg movie. In 1986, it won Best Picture.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Let's see. Best Actress
Whoopi?
in a leading role. Best Actress in a supporting role.
Whoopi?
Oprah won that one.
Oh. Was Whoopi in that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg.
I'm trying to think of Whoopi movies. All I have is Made in America. That's all I can think of.
And Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Is that the burglar? What's the burglar one? Was she a burglar in that
Isn't that
one?
Jumpin' Jack Flash?
I thought she was a burglar. Like I remember the cartoony cover of the VHS, and she's like on a scooter and crap's flying out of her.
Oh, yeah.
Jumpin' Jack Flash?
Isn't that the one where she's locked in the phone booth? I don't know.
What?
I don't know what I'm saying.
Whoopi.
Well, I would recommend The Color Purple. Perhaps
Yeah.
it's a really good movie.
That's what I hear.
You should probably see it if you like, thought-provoking films. Which it doesn't seem you do, but on the off chance that you change your ways. Let's see. After The Color Purple, we have Empire of the Sun from 1987, starring a young Christian Bale.
Was it real? Oh,
I'm going to go and guess that you probably haven't seen
No,
Empire of the Sun.
not at all.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in 89.
Never saw it.
Yeah, it's really good. How about this one?
Yeah, here we go.
Always.
Here's where it starts. I have seen Always quite a few times.
Tell us your thoughts on Always.
Oh, man. Not a fan. My mom, you know the story, was obsessed with Always.
John Goodman's in this.
Loves Always.
Holly Hunter.
She loves Always. That was one of the only VHS movies she owned and watched constantly. Loves Always.
What's it about?
Death and aviation and love. The three main hot keys there. What do you say? Yeah.
Let's jump right ahead to 1991's Hook.
Yeah.
A movie that I don't like.
What?
I don't.
Are you serious?
Don't like it.
Wow. Up to this point, this is my favorite Spielberg movie on this list. I'm serious. 100%.
Not The Color Purple.
No, 1,000%.
Not Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
No.
Not even Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Definitely not Raiders.
Not always.
No.
But we're going with Hook.
Hook, 100%. I love Hook so much. I love Hook.
Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell.
That's a great casting role. Great casting idea. You don't think Robin Williams as Peter Pan was a good call? No?
I didn't enjoy it.
Really? Mm-mm. I mean, Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook is fantastic.
Terrible. I thought it was terrible.
Bob
I thought
Hoskins as Smee.
Bad.
Glenn Close is the random man on the ship.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was good. Big fan.
Oh, 1993's Jurassic.
Rufio for.
Oh, Rufio.
Come on,
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
1993's what? Sorry.
You done?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Jurassic Park in
Oh
1993.
yeah, like I said, my favorite on the list.
Mm-hmm.
That's what else can we say about it? Fantastic.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, there you go.
Really, you could just sum that up with Goldblum.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that in the sequels, they would try to get at least one of the main cast back.
Yeah.
For Jurassic Park 2 and 3. Because Goldblum came back for the second one.
Yeah.
The kids are in the very beginning of the second one.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I can't remember that. Oh.
And then Grant came back for the third one.
Yeah.
And he calls Ellie at one point.
Yeah.
And she's actually in the film on the phone
Yeah.
talking to Grant. But she's remarried to someone else.
Yeah.
Typical.
Yeah. 3's bad. 3.
Did you like the second one?
It's all right.
Can we agree that Jurassic Park is probably one of the most fun movies of the 1990s?
The first one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the second one comes out in 97, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it says right here, 97.
yeah.
The Lost World. Very Goldblum heavy.
Yeah.
Also, Vince Vaughn is in this.
Right.
I liked Vince Vaughn in this one. Who plays his girlfriend?
Forget her name.
How
But her.
about Julianne Moore?
Oh, yeah, that's her. Yeah,
Yep.
That's the one.
That's her. So, the third one,
Uh-huh.
I don't think Steven Spielberg directed.
No.
And yeah, I'm with you. I think
It was a rough one.
the third one's pretty bad.
Yeah. Saw that once in theaters. Haven't seen it since.
But let's go back to 1993 for just a second,
Yeah.
because also in 1993, you have Jurassic Park on one end of the spectrum, and you have Schindler's List on the other end.
How did that even happen?
The Academy Award-winning Schindler's
in
List.
1 year, how does one man do that?
Possibly Steven Spielberg's opus is Schindler's List.
Think so?
I think so.
Wow.
If you want to take fun off the table
Yeah.
and just like cultural significance and importance in Spielberg's work, it's probably Schindler's List.
You ready for this, though?
Oh, boy.
I never saw it. I never saw it.
Weren't you a film school student?
I was, yeah. And it's funny, I had a project based on Schindler's List. I had to do with that, and I just BS'd it.
What was the project?
I had to do like a black and white photography, a photo roman, pretty much a photo montage based on the style of Schindler's List. And I got a Jewish friend of mine's father and took a black and white photo of his profile, and that was my Schindler's List photo roman, without ever seeing a frame of the movie. That's why I didn't finish film school.
So the story goes,
Yeah.
Spielberg would be working on Schindler's List while he was doing post on Jurassic Park. And he credits like just the heaviness of directing a movie like Schindler's List and how much he cherished the moments that he would have to go and work on post on Jurassic Park, because it gave a little relief to the heaviness of making a movie like Schindler's List.
Wow.
Because it is a really heavy
I'm sure,
movie.
yeah, especially for someone
And I
from
think
that heritage.
Liam Neeson underrated in his performance in Schindler's
Really?
List. He's really good. And so is Ben Kingsley.
Think about this.
You know, the Mandarin.
Oh yeah, okay. Think about this. I've seen the Jerky Boys movie 5 times. I own 2 physical copies of Redneck Zombies, but I've never once seen Schindler's List. How does that make you feel about me right now? What do you think of my?
Yeah, honestly, it's one of the reasons why I love you. And I enjoy doing this. Because I think there's a nice little dichotomy to, hey, I think Schindler's List is great. I don't know. I've never seen it.
Jerky Boys.
Next.
Yeah.
We talked about the Lost World Jurassic Park in 97. Amistad, I've never seen
No,
Amistad.
never did. That seemed boring to me. It seemed like it's not my type of movie. It seemed kind of boring.
Based on this list so far,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
You probably want to skip it.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this one?
Uh-huh.
I can guarantee you this movie is not boring. 1998's Saving Private Ryan.
That was a good one.
You've seen this?
I've seen it, yeah.
Oh, can you speak about this a
Yeah,
little bit?
I like it a lot. Yeah, it's Tom Hanks. You can't go wrong with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And I think this is the beginning of an early Tom Hanks-Spielberg relationship, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, this is the first
Yeah.
time they've... Well, I don't know if it's the first time they've worked together, but I know it's the first time he was directed.
Yeah.
Let's jump ahead to 2001. AI, Artificial Intelligence.
So I looked at this list earlier. We're about to have a big block of movies that people love that I've never seen.
I feel like that's been this list.
No. Well, specifically from now until 2011, I've seen none of these movies.
So you haven't seen
No,
AI?
I never did. No.
Haley Joel Osment?
No.
I think is in
There was
this.
a time there, so you have this, and I think later on we'll talk about Minority Report.
Well, it's the next one.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You haven't seen Minority Report?
never
Have
saw
you played
that.
the video game?
Yeah, I played the,
So when you played the video game,
yeah.
you didn't think, well, this is a great game. I should probably go see the movie.
I didn't like that game too much.
Oh,
It
boy.
was all right, But I get AI, Minority Report, and iRobot all mixed up. It's that whole shiny, whitish, glimmering, holographic robot look with shiny floors and everything. See, I couldn't get into that. And for me, that whole genre, that early to mid 2000s futuristic AI robot life, I wasn't down for it.
I think here's a couple of things about Minority Report.
Yeah.
You should watch it now because even though it's cranked up a little bit for the movie, it's almost like Spielberg and the writers of Minority Report, which I think it might have been based off a book. I'm not sure.
I think so.
It's almost like they could see into the future.
Really?
Because, say for instance, character walks into a mall. The video ads that they walk by are tailored just to them because of data mining.
That's oddly specific to now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't say it's because of data mining.
Yeah.
But you see characters experience things like that in this. And there's a lot of hologram use in this movie. and especially Tom Hanks' character, when he's going through hologram files, he'll swipe to go to the next one. He'll swipe past them.
Really?
And I can't think of any phone that we were swiping on in 2001.
No. Wow.
But because I know I still had a Nokia then.
No, yeah, for sure.
I might have my little Samsung by then.
Ericsson, maybe?
Ericsson,
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been it. I loved Minority Report. I thought it was really good. I think that was the first time Spielberg and Tom Hanks worked together. Catch Me If You Can.
Was it good?
It's great.
Good enough. Check it out.
I just wanted to see if you'd seen it.
No. From
Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks.
I'm telling you, man, from now to 2011, nothing.
Christopher Walken is in this.
Oh, wow.
As Leonardo DiCaprio's dad.
Really?
Oh. This seemed like this would be such a fun topic.
I can lie to you and say, oh, that's great. Let's try it.
Lie to me.
Let's try it next. What do you have next?
I kind of want you to.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the plot of Catch Me If You Can?
No. Isn't it a identity thief?
Yes.
Going for okay, yeah.
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 And then he passes himself off as like an airline pilot
Yep.
or a doctor.
I remember that.
He actually passes the bar exam in Alabama to become a lawyer.
Well, it can't be that hard there, right?
Well, there's like, 6 laws? I mean, how hard could that be?
That's funny.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Of all of the ones we've talked about thus far, Catch Me If You Can, you might actually enjoy.
Really? Mm-hmm. I love Leo and Tom.
It's just because of the, yes, you do, and you like Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
And the pacing of this and the editing of this is really good.
Really?
It's almost like a caper.
Nice.
It's like a fun little caper to watch.
A good caper.
Yeah. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and guess that you haven't seen our next one.
What's that? No, probably not.
2004 is The Terminal.
Nope.
Starring Tom Hanks.
Nope. He
Directed
loved Tom
by
Hanks this
Steven-
time. Huh? Wow.
Yeah. I think, let me look. I think I'm right in this. Yeah, Zoe Saldana is also in this.
Really?
Zoe Saldana plays a
15 years,
character
wow.
that works at the airport. And like her character arc is she's a huge Star Trek fan.
That's funny.
She is a huge Star Trek fan. And then she meets a guy that, like, you know, and then they end up going to, I think they go to a Star Trek convention together.
Wow.
But I just think it's funny that she would end up being
Yeah.
in a Star Trek film. Just a few years later, after playing a Star Trek fan in The Terminal, starring Tom Hanks, doing a fun accent. See it now.
Check it out.
Here's another serious Spielberg movie, 2005's Munich. But the killing of the Olympians in
Sounds
Munich.
like a blast.
Yeah. 2008.
All right.
Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Never saw it, but you say it's terrible.
It is bad.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Tintin in 2011.
Nope.
War Horse in 2011.
Nope.
Lincoln in 2012. You seen Lincoln?
No, I didn't. I think you missed Super 8. Did you miss? Oh, he didn't direct Super 8, did he?
No, that was
feels. Every time
that was
think,
JJ.
I always think it's so Spielbergy the style is. So I always forget that mixed up. Yeah.
I think he produced it.
Yeah, probably so.
Bridge of Spies in 2015.
No.
The BFG in 2016.
No.
The Post in 2017.
No.
Ready Player One in 2018.
There we go. We're back.
Okay.
So that was I believe wow. That was a 20-year gap from 1998 to 2018 where I saw no Spielberg movies. 20 years.
No way.
Check it out. Every one we talked about. I thought it was 2011, but I was thinking Super 8 was produced by him.
Yeah.
So we went from 1998 to 2018. As I saw no. I should step up on that, huh?
Yeah, you really should. I'm just going to go.
The funny thing, every single Kevin Smith movie between then I've seen multiple times.
Is it fair to say that maybe you're not a big Steven Spielberg fan?
It's not that I don't like his work. It's just, I don't know. He's one of those, I mean, once again, back in film school, he was thought of as the man to some. Yeah, I wonder why that is. To me, it's very, you're a big fan. We've had a whole show dedicated to him, understandably so. He's done some great milestones in movies, but in your eyes, what makes him so good? I can't watch a Spielberg movie. Well, I guess I could, but when I think of Super 8, I think Spielberg, but it wasn't him. So does he have a style and a feel? And some would say that even like like Stranger Things. There's a kind of a Spielberg feel to it.
Yeah.
What makes it that feel? What I can't put my finger on it. What is it?
I think there is a certain charm that regardless of the subject matter or how heavy the movie is, there's a certain charm that Steven Spielberg brings to a movie. Now, if it's one of his lighter fares, that charm could be paired with comedy and, witty banter between characters. But I just think there's a certain charm that Steven Spielberg brings to a movie. Even with Ready Player One, there's a certain charm in that movie. And I think there is very few filmmakers that capture the humanity of his characters more than Steven Spielberg does. And he does that. That's one of the reasons why, take Raiders of the Lost Ark or Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. One of the reasons why I think those movies are entirely rewatchable for decades is because of the charm and the humanity of the characters. And he allows you to connect with these characters on a level that most filmmakers can't do. And I don't even think, and even though, the comparisons are made between J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg, which I think is fair in some aspects and not fair in others, I don't even think he can do that.
Yeah.
Like I was watching, right before we started recording tonight, ABC was showing of The Force Awakens. So watched about 30 minutes of The Force Awakens. And it's fun, but it doesn't, and granted, George Lucas wasn't really good at making that connection either. But if you're going to compare JJ to Spielberg, there's still that, even though he gets the charm of Spielberg, I don't think he can do that human connection that Spielberg does yet. Which to say, I think J.J. Abrams is still fairly young in his film career.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So he could probably get there eventually.
If you Google why do people love Steven Spielberg so much, one of the first things that comes up, someone asks the question, and the response is Spielberg's cinema can basically be divided into two different parts. One being the summer blockbuster era, and then the other being the somber humane era. The former summer blockbuster includes favorites like Close Encounters, E.T., Jaws, Indiana Jones, etc., while the latter humane version consists of Schindler's List, Lincoln, and Munich. Does that make sense? He has those two different types.
Yeah.
And both played up different personalities.
But see, here's the thing. I think he can make you empathetic for his characters, and he can do that in any of these films. Mm. Even in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, you have empathy for Indiana Jones by watching that first 20 minutes, which is kind of the first Indiana Jones adventure, with River Phoenix playing Indiana Jones, like a young Indiana Jones. So it's that connection he's able to allow the audience to make with his characters. Just some of the highlights on his producer's list, because this goes on and on. But some of them you may not be aware of. True Grit.
Oh, wow.
He was the executive producer on.
Like the newer one, I'd imagine.
The newer one, yeah, the Coen brothers. Super 8, he was a producer on. The original Transformers, the movie, he was the executive producer.
Really?
Not the cartoon.
Okay. Like
but
2007.
the Michael Bay.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Taken.
Wow.
The TV miniseries in 2002. He was executive producer of Men in Black 2. Jurassic Park 3, he was credited as executive producer. Oh, here's one of the things that I wanted to mention about Spielberg. One of the reasons why I love him so much, the Animaniacs.
Oh, yeah.
He was a big driving force behind the Animaniacs.
Yeah.
And I love that cartoon. He was an executive producer on the original Men in Black.
What's Men in Black?
Yeah, it's almost like he's credited as an executive producer on the Back to the Future TV series, the animated series.
What, really?
Yeah. He was in. Oh, here we go. Get back to some of his 80s work. Executive producer of The Goonies, Gremlins, Poltergeist, The Money Pit.
Wow, yeah.
I said The Goonies, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else? Inner Space. Batteries Not Included.
Oh, yeah.
He was executive producer of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Ah. He and Zemeckis had a good relationship, it seems.
Yeah, he did a lot of work to make that happen. Land Before Time, Back to the Future 2, Always, Joe versus the Volcano. See, so he had worked
Tom Hanks before,
with Tom Hanks before,
Yeah.
just not directed him. Arachnophobia, executive producer. These were all, when you went to see these, it was Steven Spielberg presents Cape Fear, An American Tale, Tiny Toons. Oh, yeah, he also did the Tiny Toons.
Oh, yeah. Makes you wonder why, I mean, financially, while he's still working, he has to be, what, close to 70?
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of money. I mean, wow. I just looked up his net worth. What do you think Steven Spielberg's net worth is currently in 2019?
$2.35 billion.
$3.7 billion.
Oh, wow.
That's insane. I would have never thought of him as a billionaire. How many actual billionaire directors are still directing movies? Billionaires.
Well, James Cameron.
Is he a billionaire?
Oh, he's got to be.
You think so?
Oh, he's got to be. Just on the money alone from the technology he made
You think so?
that's still being used today, he's got to be a billionaire.
700 million.
Oh, really?
That's still a freaking lot.
Who else? Billionaire directors. Francis Ford Coppola.
No way.
You don't think Coppola's a billionaire?
No way. No way. I think I'm very shocked that Spielberg is. Well, there are a few. Let's go for highest grossing movies. I'll keep looking into that.
Look up Coppola's net worth.
What do you think it'll be?
Right around $1 billion. I think he's a billionaire.
300 million.
No, what did he do with all his money?
I don't think he did like 2 or 3 big movies and he was done, right?
Yeah, but the Coppola name alone, the franchise rights alone will be worth millions.
I can't believe I'm so shocked that Spielberg is over $3 billionaire. That's insane to me.
Well, when you see all these movies that he made money off of, because the executive producer is the money bag guy.
Peter Jackson has more money than Coppola.
I could see that.
He has 500 million.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, he was all the way up to Transformer. Is every Transformer is he executive producer on? Bumblebee, yeah. He was an executive producer on Bumblebee.
Wow.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, executive producer.
Wow.
What has he got coming up? Animaniacs TV series? In 2020, they're bringing the Animaniacs back?
Really?
I guess. Wait, he's an executive producer on Gremlins 3?
Is that real?
It says
Is
announced.
that going to happen?
Chris Columbus as the writer. Well, I don't think Chris Columbus wrote this. I think it's the characters. Oh, yeah. Carl Ellsworth is credited as writing the screenplay for Gremlins 3.
You ever heard of Arnon Milcan? I'm probably mispronouncing that.
Mm-mm.
On this list of biggest names in Hollywood, net worth-wise, he's number 2 with $5.2 billion net worth. He's produced many movies. Big producer. Number 1, though, is George Lucas.
Oh, I could see.
five-
Well, yeah.
A $5.4 billion net worth. That's insane. Wow.
Oh, yeah. He's also. Here's what
The
Steven.
names are insane. But you're right, though. Producers are the big dogs.
Oh, yeah. They
Yeah.
make the money.
Yeah.
They are the money people.
Yeah.
When you see executive producer, that's the like Kevin Feige is the executive producer
Right.
on all these Marvel movies. Imagine how much money he has.
Less than 600 million. He's not on the list. Top 10 is, and James Cameron's number 10 with 670 million net worth.
So here's what you can look forward to coming up with Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
I think he's doing a West Side Story movie, and also maybe Cats.
Really?
He may
Those
be
are
doing
musicals.
Cats. Yeah, he may be doing 2 musicals.
Wow.
Which, have we ever seen a Spielberg musical? I don't think we have.
Not that I know of,
I
no.
don't think we have. So any other thoughts on Steven Spielberg? Other than clearly you're not a fan.
I'd say not a fan. I just need to be a little more exposed to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also he's announced that he's going to direct the next Indiana Jones movie.
How old
Slated
is
for
Spielberg
2020.
now? How old is he?
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Let me.
I mean, it's got to be close to 70, right? I mean, doing movies in the late 60s?
Born December 18th, 1946 in Cincinnati,
Wow.
Ohio.
Wow. Wow. He'll be 73 this year.
Yeah. Wow. There was a great documentary about Spielberg that came out on HBO.
Why are you still if you're a 3.5 billionaire and you're 73, why the hell are you still working?
I don't know.
Man,
I don't know.
Imagine
I
that.
wouldn't be.
no. If I were 40 and a millionaire, I would stop working. I can't imagine 70-something being a multi-billionaire and like still waking up
Well,
and working for someone.
I
I mean, he's a
think-
big deal, but he always has to answer. So no matter how big you are, you're still answering to someone. Even if you're an executive producer, you're answering to a studio head above that.
Oh, I don't think
think
there's
Spielberg
many
does?
people that Spielberg's answering
You
to
don't think
these
so?
days.
You don't think so?
You think Spielberg walks into a room and somebody's like, Steven, here's my
Yeah.
thoughts on your movie.
I think so, yeah.
Who would be that stupid?
I think so.
Who's going to do that?
There's always someone above. I mean, there's someone above him, always. I think so.
No.
There's always a
I don't
studio
think-
head. Like, I mean, even if
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
working,
yeah,
if he's
yeah.
a producer, he's still working for
Sure.
a producing company.
There's a big boss at
Yeah.
the studio. Well, Spielberg went out and created his own production company,
Yeah,
Amblin
yeah.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
And so
Maybe if he's like
he is the big boss.
Yeah, maybe so.
Well, he does movies for studios.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there are studio heads, but those studio heads aren't telling Steven Spielberg.
you don't think so?
They're not giving him notes. They're not sending studio heads dailies on Spielberg movies, and then he gets notes back on what he should do.
Yeah.
Though, with that said, I think Spielberg is smart enough that he's had a team around him that have helped him make great films over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Kathleen Kennedy was a big part of that. Robert Zemeckis, a big part of that. Bob Gale, a big part of that. That kind of Spielberg team.
Yeah.
I was surprised to learn, and I think we've talked about this before on the show, that Spielberg was part of that like running buddy group that included George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola and a couple other directors that were like buddies that would hang out together back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like he came up with them, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Lucas. Don't you miss George Lucas? See, he had the right idea. Just sell your crap off, make the billions, and just hang out with your flannel.
it's true.
That's the life.
What do you
And
think?
he's
of the,
number one on the list. If he's number one on that whole list, what you saw, over $5 billion net worth doing nothing.
Yeah, but
That's beautiful.
He created the biggest pop culture whatever
Yeah.
of all time.
But as far as
there's
actually, like,
nothing bigger than Star Wars.
I know, yeah.
In
But
the
it's-
world, there's
yeah.
nothing bigger than Star Wars.
Yeah.
Except Asia, I don't think the Star Wars movies do very well.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
I don't think they do well in the Japan and
Yeah.
Chinese,
I wonder why that
Chinese
is.
market. I don't know. Korean markets.
But
I
as
don't
far
think
as
do
like
well.
hours behind a camera and the lens and actual physical working, imagine the fraction he's done compared to Spielberg and the money he has. Think about it.
True.
Yeah.
True.
That filmography which went through with Spielberg was huge and vast, and Lucas, thankfully, isn't that deep. But what he's done has a bigger impact.
He's not that good of a director,
No. Yeah.
as evident in the prequels.
Right.
The original Star Wars, the original 1977 Star Wars, Episode 4.
4. Yeah.
Now it's called Episode 4. Well, no, it's Episode 4 then. At least in the scroll. Not that great of a movie. I mean,
What?
let's be honest.
What? Well, that's where am I?
So, to give you a little backstory, it's what just happened.
Am I? There we go.
We noticed before we started. It was going to be. Now you got a nice hum going.
Yeah, I do.
It was going to be challenging for Adam to get through
Yeah.
our recording session because he's got a broken mic stand.
It was. Well, that was good timing too, right?
Clearly,
Really?
when I said, let's be honest, the original Star Wars, not that great of a movie.
Sure.
It's fun,
Yeah.
and it's a great adventure.
I apologize for that hum.
And we're just about done.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun to watch over and over again.
Right.
There you go. Just hold that, just like that.
Okay.
But,
It was groundbreaking.
and yes, visually.
Yeah.
Acting not great.
No.
Directing certainly not great.
Harrison Ford is in it.
Some questionable editing in that movie.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I mean. I love it,
Yeah.
but from a technical standpoint,
Yeah.
not great.
I can agree.
They got better once Lucas wasn't directing.
Yeah.
There's my hot take.
Yeah. I mean, the prequels speak for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
That was pretty much 100% his baby.
And good for him.
Yeah.
He was at the point that he could do that then.
Yeah.
But
Have you seen interviews with him? Speaking of the newer Star Wars, how it's kind of he's kind of giving some. I'm sure
Shade?
contractually he can't do it, but he's
throwing some shade,
a little bit, yeah.
such as
It's just this. He doesn't say it in those words, but that the essence of Star Wars is missing. It's deeper than just battleships and.
it's trade wars.
I agree with him. I love.
Here we go.
No, you know my take on it. You know my take. Like a George Lucas era Star Wars would never have Rogue One, and I'm 100% fine with that.
No, I don't follow you.
Yeah, he would never make a Rogue One movie with strictly the rebellion and no Force, no
he
Jedi.
would make a Phantom Menace.
At least we had some sweet ass lightsaber battles. We did,
And Jar Jar Binks.
but sweet ass lightsaber battles.
And the thing about, what the biggest problem with the Phantom Menace is?
What's that?
It's bloated.
Think so?
That's the biggest problem with that movie.
Just too much stuff in there.
It's so bloated. It's
Yeah.
just bloated like
Underwater with the Gungans and you.
It's so yes, that's the problem with that movie.
Yeah.
It's not Jar Jar Binks alone.
That's true, yeah. Pod
It's-
races,
yes.
Gungans, underwater.
That is such a bloated movie
Yeah.
that somewhere the story got lost.
This is interesting.
I don't know how we're going to record next time.
I'll bring a mic stand. We're good.
You've completely broken that.
I wasn't touching that. It was just the hatred of Star Wars that made that come off. No
Whoa,
one touched
whoa. I love Star Wars. Don't put words in my mouth. I say from a technical standpoint, it's
Yeah.
not a great movie.
it. My microphone exploded with your hatred. It did.
I force broke your microphone.
It did. Wow.
Well, tell us your favorite Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah, let us know.
AdamandJP.com.
On Twitter at Adam and JP. Let us know which one is the greatest. Have you seen any Spielberg movies between 98 and 2018? Because I did not. Apparently.
Let us know. If I was going to suggest two for you to watch, did we mention War of the Worlds? Because I'm pretty sure he directed that.
Yeah, we didn't. We skipped over that. Whoops.
I'm pretty sure Steven Spielberg directed War of the
I
Worlds.
think so too, yeah.
I don't know how we missed that. You should watch Minority Report
Really?
and Catch Me If You Can.
I would like to see Catch Me If You Can.
You will enjoy those two
Yeah.
films. I guarantee it. You got the JP guarantee.
Guarantee?
If you don't like it, your money back.
All right.
Just like a Fyre Festival.
Just like your own personal Fyre Festival.
I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
Eat your podcast.